Hello, and welcome back to another episode on Farming Simulator 25. Well, I'm just finishing up baling all the straw that we had left over from our oat harvest. As soon as I'm done with this, we have two major things to really harvest today. We have two of those small canola fields, which should be relatively quick, as well as our rice fields. That is the end of the straw. I'm not sure if we're going to get straw from the canola fields or not, because I do have that mod that does give me extra straw. So we'll check that out as we get over there. Let's check the weather real quick. I know that it was supposed to be raining this month, but I'm not really sure at what time. Okay, so it looks like at 5 p.m. I should have plenty of time. September, which is going to be the next episode, I should be able to plant wheat and barley. Ideally, I would like to be able to purchase some more land so that I can plant some more wheat and barley if possible. I believe that grain mill is very hungry. Let's go ahead and start a little bit closer to the cliffside here. I think that'd make it just a little bit easier. I'm going to go ahead and start this. I'll knock this out on a quick time lapse on both canola fields, and I'll see you when we're done. Welcome back. That should have been a pretty quick time lapse. These fields are small. The only reason it takes any time whatsoever is because our harvester is on the tinier side. I think that's definitely an investment we're going to have to look into at some point, is getting a much bigger and quicker harvester, but I think we can get away with this one for just a little bit longer. Our fields aren't terribly big yet, but since we're going to be planting a lot of grain in order to keep feeding that grain mill, I definitely think a bigger harvester would be good, or needed rather sooner than later. But we're going to have quite a while before our next harvest anyway, so we have time to kind of save up for one, or if I'm lucky, get one in a sale. But we haven't been that lucky so far. I think the only thing I've purchased that's been on sale has been the trailer. The grain trailer, to be specifically. I wasn't able to catch a flatbed trailer on sale. There was a baler on sale, but unfortunately it only baled up to 150 centimeters in size, not the full 180. So I was like, oh, well, that's kind of a bummer. And then it also didn't wrap, so we were kind of definitely going for the modded baler anyway. We didn't get lucky enough for that to go on sale. That's alright. Yeah, we're sitting on over $300,000, so we're doing alright right now. I'm not going to complain too much. After this, we need to harvest the rice. I might have a worker working on that, just so we can do other stuff as well. We have some baling to do with this straw. We need to get this cleared up, cultivated, and prepped for the next planting season, which is coming up next month. I'm not really sure what else. We'll need to definitely feed the sawmill, so that's going to take a little bit of time. I think this little one here also needs to be fed. I went ahead and off camera before I started baling the big field. I cut down a bunch of trees just so we can, pull up quickly, tie off them, and winch them back, so that way it doesn't take up as much time. Speaking of buying stuff and looking on sales, let's take a quick peek and see what's on there right now. Sadly, nothing we could use. I am thinking about buying that field just below us there, the grass field that's next to the field we just harvested. Because we now have the baler, I can bale grass, turn it into silage, should be able to do that, I think, what, 2 or 3 times, maybe even 4 times a year, and just kind of keep selling it off because we're not quite ready for animals yet. And the animals I'd like to get first are going to be goats, and they just use grass anyway, so there's no need to keep the silage around. But I think if we can sell enough silage throughout the year, that should pay for, or at least cover, a major cost of the actual field itself. This canola is going to end up being sold. We just don't really have all that much of it, so there's no reason to buy a oil mill and use this for the oil mill. I think I'll just wait until its best time and sell it. And its best time is in November, so that's coming up pretty quickly. That'll be a nice little profit. I planted canola originally only because it was the only thing I could really plant at that time of the year. And I didn't want the fields to just be sitting empty for too long. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and drop the header off on the header trailer and bring it over here to the repair station and repair everything. I'm going to make a concentrated effort to kind of cruise along and repair everything as we're using it. Bring all of our equipment up to 100%. Even if it doesn't really matter if it's repaired or not because it's still functional, I would rather just repair it and just be like, okay, cool, it's done. That's what I would do in the real world, right? Well, I'm glad they fixed that for me because that was a bad working job for my header. Alright, we'll attach this really quick, swing around and repair, and then we'll hop onto the rice harvest. I still need to pick up the bales we have there already. I'm kind of curious to see whether our little tractor is gonna, well, I'm pretty sure it's gonna struggle, but whether or not I'll be able to function and still kind of knock that out quickly. Repair everything real quick. It didn't show the header. I wonder if it's because it's attached to the trailer, or maybe just wasn't in the area. It wasn't in the area. There we go. Actually, we'll leave that there for right now. I'll park it a little bit later. Alright, let's hop over here into our Iseki rice harvester, and we'll start knocking this out real quick. I pulled the dragon truck here along with the trailer adaptation so that we can kind of unload into it. I think the regular trailer over there across the field is just a little too big. I just realized this is the very first thing we did on our very first episode. It's officially been a year in game. I'm kind of curious, one, how much more rice we'll get versus our first season of harvesting, and two, how much we've grown. Obviously, we've expanded. Let's take a quick peek. Let's look at the map. So since we started with field 28, 30, 31, and 27. Within the year, we purchased field 32, 25, and 23. That's not bad. We've purchased and placed down, well, not that, 2 greenhouses. And then that is the rice greenhouse, which we just moved. We replaced the medium mushroom greenhouse with a large one. We've purchased a sawmill, the small one, placed it down, and it's been making wood for us. It's helped us grow. The preserved food factory is the most recent purchase. That one's currently bagging spinach for us. The grain mill was just before that, and that's knocking out flour pretty quickly. I can't keep it filled up enough in order to, I think, sustain a bakery yet. But as we buy a little bit more farmland and start planting more grain, I think I can do that. And then a bakery will be our next purchase. On farmland 23, we bought the medium sawmill, which I think is just going to end up making us a ton of money. I really do. And ideally, I'd like to purchase land, the plot 29 and 33 as well. I'd like to purchase 34, but 34 is, 400,000 because it comes with all the trees off to the side of it, plus a little bit of land below the road. which if that's not too steep and if that's kind of straight, that wouldn't be a bad place to buy. Pull the trees up, send it to the sawmill obviously, and then maybe put down a production there if I can. Because I kind of hate having to put a production on farmland where I can actually grow something. That's just kind of a bummer. It always makes me feel a little sad. I'm not sure when the cotton harvest is going to be ready, but that looks pretty soon. Let's check that out real quick. When is cotton? October and November. Well, if it's in October, I might be able to pick up a contract to harvest it. So obviously make money from the contract, sell whatever extra cotton, and then buy that land and prep it to plant something within this planting season. If not, I'll have to buy it, prep it, and then plant in the spring, which is okay as well. Alright, we're going to go ahead and knock this out on a time lapse because this is going to take a while. I'm going to do this field, possibly even one of the other fields, and then maybe have a worker on it. Or I might just do all of it. I'm not 100% positive yet, but we shall see. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Welcome back. So I just finished this first field of rice here. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it off into our little truck. There we go. It's always interesting for me to use the machinery with the tracks on the bottom because they handle so differently than anything with wheels. It obviously spins on a dime, but it's just a little bit harder to control for me at least. I don't know about you guys. I'm going to throw the rest of the rice harvest onto a worker. And what I'm going to do while that's happening is I'm going to head down over to the store. Hold on 1 second. I think I am going to purchase that field down there. Let's go ahead and do that right now. So field 26, which is a grass field, it's $162,000 to buy, and I still need to buy a mower, but I think that's a much better investment of our money at the moment since we can't really do anything with it except buy machinery. So I'd rather just buy a mower, mow the field up, turn it into silage, and then end up, recouping our money that way from the field. And it'll give us something to do during the winter and whatnot when there isn't really anything else to do on our farm. There it is. Now the only concern I have is, do I go with the modded Pottinger set? Because I believe it's either between the Samaz or the Pottinger. This one has a slightly wider working width. They're about the same price. This is a tad bit more expensive, but it's a 13 mile an hour working speed. What's the other one? Also 13. So 9.4 working width. This one's got a 10 meter width working width. But the reason I'm interested in this one is because, well, they can make a windrow all by themselves. I can set it up so that way I don't need a windrower. They'll just make a swath and I can come pick it up with our baler. And it's about the same price. Let's go with the slightly bigger one and hope I don't mess it up. Alright, we're gonna buy this one. And we're gonna buy the front one as well. We cannot buy the front one as well. Oh my gosh, I'm glad I realized that before I bought it. Dang it. Oh well. We'll have to buy that one down the road after we get a new tractor. The reason is our current tractor here doesn't have a 3-point connection. It just has weights on the front. That's going to be a little bit of a hassle, but that's fine. That's workable. I guess our next hope is that we'll get a decent tractor on sale that I can pick up. Or we make so much money it doesn't even really matter. The second option would be the best. Alright, I'll see you guys back here. Welcome back. We're cleaning up the scraps that the AI worker missed really quick. And then, well, I'm trying to see if I can finagle what I wanted to do with the mower properly. I realized that our tiny little, well, it's our small tractor, our John Deere, which has a front loader, has a 3-point connection on the front. Now, it is a little underpowered, and I am not sure if we can actually get the mower to work or not. I did throw the back mower on there, but it was so heavy it lifted the front tires of the John Deere up. But I figured that might be okay, because if we put the front mower on, that should add more than enough weight to the front of it that it should kind of keep it down and be able to run it properly. I figure worst case scenario is I bought the front mower and I can't use it yet until I get a bigger tractor or a different tractor. Which is fine, because it wasn't that expensive. I think it was only like $13,000. So I'm going to go ahead and set the worker on this field right here. We'll hop back to the John Deere and see if my plan works or not. If it doesn't, not a big deal. We're out a little bit of money, but that's okay. I needed that eventually anyway. Let's throw the worker onto here again. And here we are. This mower looks so huge on this tiny tractor. So I left the mower down here by the field that we just picked up. We'll connect to it and we'll see if we can get everything to run properly or not. If it does run properly, that's going to be awesome. If it doesn't, that's alright. It's just a small setback. Plenty of fog this morning, but then again, there's so much fog on this map anyway. I could turn it off, and I have in the past, and it looks so much better without the fog. But I find that when I turn the fog off, when it rains, it kind of also turns off the rain clouds and a little bit of the rain texture and whatnot. So I know we're expecting rain well, shortly. So I don't necessarily want to do that. I believe we should be fine harvesting the rice before the rain shows up. At least I hope so. Alright, let's collect this real quick. Oop. Alright, let's see what happens now. Well, the wheels are on the ground. That's good. So the front mower is keeping it weighted down. Let's lower everything turn it on and see what we get here. Well, we definitely do not have enough power to even move. It's just kind of stuck. If I turn it off, I can move, but then it doesn't. The front one isn't on. Let's see. Yeah, it won't let me do it. That is so unfortunate. Oh well. C'est la vie. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and drop down that back one. And let's grab our other tractor, which is strong enough. Oh, that was close. To actually mow. Well, I think I'll actually have to purchase a windrower after I'm done mowing. Since I won't have the front mower on, it won't make its own separate windrows, unfortunately. That's alright. I mean, at some point I was going to need it anyway. Just so that I can do hay and stuff like that. And at some point, if we can find a decent replacement tractor for this one that can still do the front loaders, it's nice to kind of have a tractor on the farm with a front loader. Then we might end up doing that. This has been a nice little tractor to have for this first year, but absolutely necessary. But it's definitely a little bit too small to kind of pitch in when we could use a little bit more muscle on the farm. Alright, we'll leave this here for a little bit, and let's hop over to this one and hop down there. We'll mow real quick. After the mowing, we'll probably start on baling just a little bit. Well, there's not too much to bale, thank goodness. These plots here are pretty small. With the grass, we'll have to turn it in, we'll bale it and wrap it, turn it into silage. But even this field is not too big. I would like to extend this field at some point. There's a little bit of room kind of around the trees here, as well as closer to the road. We'll get all that done at a later time. Maybe one of those months when we don't have a ton of stuff to do. I think I need to lift those flaps up. Actually, they're fine. They're already up. They popped up on their own. Let's start mowing. And there's going to be that annoying little strip in the center that I can't mow without running over it again. That's alright. I'm going to go ahead and do this on a quick time lapse, and I'll see you when we're done. Welcome back. We just finished mowing this lawn, and unfortunately I just realized I was an idiot. What I could have done was done a contract with a worker in the background earlier, like I'm doing right now, and then used that tractor in order to mow with both the front and the back mower and created my windrows. That would have been the most efficient and least expensive option for me. Instead, I just didn't realize I could do that until I started a contract and I went, wait a minute, I could use this tractor. Now I gotta go buy a windrower so I can turn those into rows so I can bale them. It looks like our rice harvester is done. So as soon as I park this, I'm gonna go ahead and find out what's going on with it. I figure this is a decent spot to hold this for the moment, and it looks like they skipped some parts yet again, but that's all right. I'll go ahead and do that myself real quick. I don't know why. I remember, and I have not changed these fields whatsoever since I've started the game. This is still exactly as vanilla as, you know, anybody else starting the game. I have not changed the rice fields whatsoever, but now that, you know, they don't harvest the very edges of any of these fields, and in the very first episode they did a much better job harvesting, so I don't know what's changed. I'm not really sure. I'll have to go back and really see if they got everything or if I'm just misremembering, but I don't know. It's not as though it takes a long time, but I'm just curious, you know, what the AI is, because some of the other borders have no problem whatsoever. When I was harvesting the oats and whatnot, AI could do it, no big deal. Though it did skip a little bit on that bottom corner of the big one there, but that's because there's a rock I didn't see until I went to go harvest it and I got stuck on something. It looks like there is almost 7,600 liters of rice in there. I'm not sure how much we had the first episode. I'm not sure if that's a big jump in productivity or not. I did everything I could as far as fertilizing and prepping the field, at least what I was supposed to. So I'm not sure if we can get much more from these. I'm going to keep these rice paddies and continue to farm and harvest this type of rice using the saplings until I can afford a much bigger field somewhere that's flat enough to support paddies. So I think that's really the biggest difference is it has to be flat. It can't be, you know, shaped like a lot of the other ones. It's not bad. I think it is more. I don't remember the truck being this full last time around. I'm not going to sell the rice off the field. I'm going to go ahead and throw it into our grain mill and turn it into rice flour. And then I'll go ahead and sell that rice flour. Alright, let's go ahead and tip this in. While that's happening, before I forget, we're going to actually turn it on. So that's our grain mill and rice flour. We still got 25,000 liters of oats in there, but I think it's going to burn through it fast. This is a modded grain mill, so it seems to be doing its job relatively quickly. I'll throw this off here to the side real quick. That's almost done, and here we go. Oh, I need to go buy a windrower. Let's do that. I'm gonna buy this Samaz windrower. I think it's the best one for the price. 8.4 meter working width, 19,000 in cost. I'd love a bigger one, but it's just gonna cost more, and then I don't even know if I have the horsepower to get. Like, okay, let's see this one. No, I would have the horsepower. I just don't have the money. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and drive down there. I'm gonna pick that up. I'm gonna windrow everything, and I'll see you back in the field as I'm windrowing. all the windrowing for the grass here anyway. The next thing to do is probably bale up the straw. Since one, I already have straw in the baler and it's at a larger size. Unfortunately, my baler can't wrap bales that are above 150 centimeters. And since I can bale straw at 180 centimeters, I might as well just keep knocking that out really quick before I swap over to the grass. I got that new mod, the Real Dirt mod, and you can see that my tires are green from doing the grass work. So that's kind of a nice little realistic mod. That's just pure immersion. So when I'm doing grass, you can see that the wheels are green from doing grass. You can even see some of the grass kind of ground into the tire a little bit. And then, you know, doing mud, doing dirt, whatever is going to change the texture of that, which is just awesome. Alright, I'm going to knock these bales out really quick. I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough time to do all of the bales. I would like to, but we shall see. Well, we are just about done baling up all this grass. I don't think we'll get one more bale out of here. It'll just be a little bit left over in the baler. But it wasn't bad. Let's see how much actually got done. So the bale counter says 20, but I started after I dropped one, so it's a total of 21 silage bales. Not bad. That should be some decent money coming up. Go ahead and lift the baler, turn it off. I'm gonna go ahead and park it, and then I believe it should be time to start kind of loading up some pallets. I'll also need to load up all the straw bales, move them off to the side. We have 4 fields with some straw bales. There are luckily not too many of them because they're the largest ones I could make, but it's still going to take a while to kind of move them all and get them out of the way. The silage bales I can leave on the field for a little bit, and then I'll move those when it's time to go sell them, or if I need to fertilize the field. We are almost over to the market to go ahead and sell all of our produce and flour. Took a little bit longer than I wanted to load all these pallets up, but that's not bad. I think it should be a decent profit. We'll go ahead and load up and sell the wooden pallets tomorrow or the next episode. So that should be a huge chunk of profit there. Let's see what this ends up being. $48,500. That's actually pretty darn good. I'm gonna go ahead and head back to the farm, and what I'll do is I'm gonna grab the truck and head over to the old town up in the mountains there and grab our last 2 collectibles. So our first collectible over here up in this village is gonna be, I believe, kind of like almost in the center of it. So if you look on the map when we get up there, it's gonna be 3 roads are kind of gonna converge, and I believe that's where the last one in this village is at. So we're gonna head up here real quick, and then we should be able to get it. Now the question is, I'll have to actually pull up the map for this. Oh, I just missed it. It's just off to the side a little bit. But you know what? I think I'm gonna leave. We'll reverse it. It's faster than me running. Of course, this is probably the most dangerous roads to be reversing a big truck on, or even a small truck. Alright, it should be somewhere around here. There it is. Alright. So we only have one more. I'll throw on the map here. So it's that house just above the 3rd road. It's just kind of behind it. The next one is going to be up above the restaurant on the cliff there, kind of by where Field 54 is. I never would have found this one on my own, to be honest. I was watching a Let's Play with Chainsaw, and he did a kind of a deadwood gathering contract up there, and he stumbled across it sitting on a stump. Let's see if there's a dirt road anywhere that... No. So let's just do this. Let's just visit 54. Okay, so now we're on that cliff above it, and somewhere up here is a stump that has the collectible on it. I'll run around a little bit. Well, I'll just jump cut to where it's at, because there's no point you watching me run around looking for it. So I'll see you guys in just a little bit after I find it. Alright, here it is. You can see what I mean. It's literally a stump just sitting here in the middle of the forest. I'll open up the map real quick so you can see where it's at. So it's kind of south of 58, just above this this bend in the road there. And again, this is one I never would have found if I didn't see someone basically just stumble across it. And that is all 25. Let's head back to our truck, and we can head back to the farm real quick. I've never taken this road down before, at least not on camera. Kind of a steep road that allows you to go way too fast and almost flip your car or truck. Well, that's the end of the collectibles for this map. The only thing left now is to start building our farm and building enough wealth to be able to buy and place down the cement factory. But I'm not really kind of planning to rush that at all, mostly because I don't have a place to put it down. I mean, so for me, I'd have to buy the cement factory, which is going to be $370,000, the rock crusher, which is basically another $100,000, and the plot of land to put it on. And I just don't really have the land anywhere up near me that I can give up right now. So I think we'll still be focusing on buying land in order to plant grain so that we can continue to fill up our little grain mill, and then eventually purchase the bigger grain mill once we can, supply enough grain to it, which can help feed the bakery. And if we end up producing too much grain, we can always buy a second bakery. That's a good problem to have. The next part for me, I guess I'll do that off camera. Like I said, I'll load the sawmill, and I'll probably load up most of these bales. I'll leave a little bit left over, so in the next episode you can see me load up and move some bales. Alright, I think that'll be it for this episode. Let's take a quick look at our finances. Actually, before we do that, since this was technically a year on this map, let's take a look at the statistics. I mean, between what I've worked, cultivated, plowed, sown, it's been quite a bit. Most of it, unfortunately, has been on contracts, but even that has been phenomenal. I haven't done any olives or grapes yet, and I know there's a couple achievements I'd like to get from that, but we're not in a position to do that. It's a lot of expense for very little return at the moment. So this isn't bad. We've gotten quite a bit done. Played 2.5 hours, basically, today on this episode. It'll be cut down, hopefully, to about, around 30 minutes for you guys. That's not bad. All right, finances. Well, we spent $108,000 on new vehicles today, which is going to be the mowers, front and back, plus the windrower. And like I said, had I thought about it earlier, I would have started a contract, done that really quick, and then used that tractor to use the mower, and then that would have produced a windrow for me. So I could have just bailed it up without having to buy a windrower and taking more time mowing. Land purchase was $162,000, so that was expensive. But like I said, it's grass, so I should be able to get maybe 3 or 4 cuttings off of that per year, turn it into silage, and then sell the silage. Vehicle running cost, I think that's just repairs. Production cost of $228 so far. The day isn't over yet. We sold just produce and just flour today for almost $50,000. And if that happens pretty much every month, that's going to be just phenomenal. We didn't even do the wood selling yet, and then I don't even know what that's going to end up being, but that'll be a nice bump into next episode. Contract income of just almost $9,000. Paid $548 in wage payments to our AI workers. To be fair, most of that was done on my property. And made the additional $20,000 from the collectibles. So that's not bad. Pretty good day so far. Alright everybody, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you next time.